Women make terrible leaders. I know it's a controversial statement, but it's something that is just observationally true and also statistically true. So it must be said that most women out there, not all, I have to say, okay, not all, right? Because you always get some dummy in the comment who points out some anecdotal evidence like, no, my friend's sister was a leader of her team and she did great. Okay, yeah, I'm not saying all. I'm just saying most, right? Overwhelmingly, most women make terrible leaders and cannot be trusted with power. Okay? Again, it's a controversial statement. Why do I say that? It's because they can't, right? I mean, at the end of the day, women, the thing about power is men and women view power and treat power differently, right? For women, when it comes to power, once they're promoted to a place of leadership and power, they view power as an ends to a mean, right? As a means to an end. No different than a dictator, right? It's like, nope, I'm going to do this because I have to do this and I don't care how it affects people. Whereas men view power as really an opportunity to grow, educate, build, form cohesiveness, inspire, motivate. When it comes to women leaders, I don't see them doing this, right? If anything, and if they ever are like on stage, for example, talking about motivation, trying to motivate people, they're usually coming from a place of superiority, right? They have like this superiority complex that most female leaders have, I noticed. There's almost this arrogance to them. There's a lack of humility. Whereas for men, it's almost like they feel like privileged to be in this position of power, mostly because they had to earn it, right? They had to climb the corporate ladder. If we're talking about jobs, they had to climb the corporate ladder, or they had to work real hard their whole lives to get to where they are. Whereas for most women leaders out there, I hate to say it, a lot of them did not earn those positions. They were given those positions out of a diversity quota, out of a gender quota. They were parachuted in by some woke corporate board. It's not like they moved up, the ranks and now, I started out as a janitor, then I became a salesperson, and then I became a CFO, then a CEO, then VP, now I'm president. It was usually something that was just given to them, right? So they don't understand, the dynamics when it comes to power, right? And you can see this basically across the board in any industry, whether it's corporate America or team sports, or just basically anywhere. I think I was watching this episode of Survivor, Men versus Women, on this dude's YouTube channel, and they were showing how the men cooperated with each other and how the women, how the women cooperated with each other, and there was no cooperation when it come to the women's team. They were like, there was a lot of just gossiping, catfighting. They weren't getting anything done. They were being led by their emotions, obviously. They basically had to be rescued by, I think it was like the producers or something, on a few occasions, because otherwise they would have died out there. It was so ridiculous. Whereas, the men, they were inventing things to fish with at the beach. They were kind of creating a hierarchy of like who's in charge of what. This is what your job is, and holding each other accountable. If the person didn't do their job, like, hey, you lazy sack of, what, get off that hammock and come here and help us. You can't be doing this, because if you just lay around all day, you're not getting any food, right? You're not going to get fed today. So you have to participate. Whereas the women are like, oh, let's divide everything equally, whether you work or not. Men don't operate that way, right? Because we understand power. We understand how it can be abused. We understand how it could be, weaponized to do evil things. But we also understand how power could be used to do good things, right? Again, to create just, a community of like a cohesive community that works together in harmony versus constant catfighting, right? And you might have seen this too if you've had female bosses, for example. I did an article that did really well on my 33 Secrets channel about how most people, statistically, men and women, they were especially surprised at the women, how overwhelmingly most women out there preferred a male boss. And these are women. Hey, what happened to women supporting women, right? These are women. They preferred a male boss. They did not want to work with a female boss. Why? Why is that? Why not? It's because they understand, right? They've had female bosses in the past, and they understand, like, there's just no end to the constant nagging, overloading them with work, judging them on what they wore or where they went shopping or who they're dating or their personal life. I mean, there's just constant bickering going on, right? This is why a lot of people, that study that I covered said that, like, most females do not want a female boss, right? And this just comes back to why women make terrible leaders, right? Because even as just a boss on it doesn't matter. You could be working at McDonald's and you're the team leader there. It's probably a horrendous experience, right? Again, not always me. I'm sure there are some great female bosses out there somewhere. I'm sure there are. I've had a couple. They weren't bad. They were okay. But overwhelmingly, in positions of power, they make terrible leaders. Does this mean that men don't make terrible leaders? Sure. And it's usually the ones that are no different than women. They're caught up in their feminine frame. They're gossiping, bickering. They get jealous. They get envious of other dudes. Yeah, those type of dudes, they make terrible leaders too, right? They'll try to get you fired because they think you might get the next hot babe or something, and they're getting ignored. So yes, right? But when I talk about statistically, I'm talking about the overwhelming majority, right? Which seems like a lot of people don't understand. The overwhelming majority of women out there, prove me wrong, make terrible leaders. Not to mention, women are inherently driven by groupthink and the need to conform to social norms or popular thinking, as opposed to just doing what's right. Okay? Whereas, when it comes to men, we're not so easily influenced. We're not so easily manipulated by what the current thing is or what the current narrative is. We don't care. We're willing to go against the grain. Well, at least some of us are these days, right? So that's something that really hurts women when it comes to them being in positions of power or leadership, is they get peer pressured into doing what the group wants, right? As opposed to doing what would be best for everyone. Okay, and they think about power and being a leader is you have to understand that comes with a whole lot of responsibility, okay? When it comes to being a leader, you have to think outside of yourself, right? You have to do what's good for others versus just you, which a lot of women can't do. I mean, you can see this in any aspect of society, right? They will do what's best for themselves and what will benefit themselves over everyone else. And this is why female political leaders cannot be trusted. I mean, again, for the most part, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying a whole lot of them can't be trusted because they're doing what benefits them. And they're really, I mean, in politics especially, you can see this with a lot of female leaders. They are just doing what benefits them and what is politically correct, right? What is socially popular, whatever the current thing is, whatever the narrative is. This is why they can't be trusted. You can't trust a leader who blows in the direction of the wind, right? You can't trust a leader who will just buckle in the face of the crowd because they're standing outside of your house with torches and pitchforks. You can't. So when it comes to leadership, I mean, you can't just bend the knee to whoever is yelling the loudest at you and shaming you the most, as many people do these days. Not just women, but men too. I don't call them men. They're males, right? Males, right? So that is the difference between male and female leadership. Is just we don't care if we don't conform, right? Guys don't care, whereas women do, right? They're inherently wired to care. And inherently, this is why they make terrible leaders. Until next time, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you there in my comments.
And with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Okay? I'm going to wrap it up here. So until next time, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets, signing out from my garage, here with my DeLorean. No bookshelves yet, guys. No bookshelves. But I'm going to sign out here. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Obviously, helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. I need your help to help me promote this stuff by subscribing to my channel. Okay, it's free, doesn't cost anything. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Do it. Do it now, son. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content specifically for men even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube, and that is to protect my content from YouTube in the event they shut us down one day, which they might, right? But if you're one of my premium subscribers on my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, you will always have access to all of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets content. And right now, it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMale content from me. So take advantage of it, okay? Take advantage of it. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.